doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so pretend that we don't know anything about politics.
Okay,
And you want us to get you to vote for you in this primary.
Okay.
Contested primary, a lot of people in it.
Yeah.
yes.
You know, if you win the primary, you win the seat. So kind of this is like the general election, honestly.
Yeah.
What are your top priorities for people who know nothing about this? In
Yes.
your opinion?
Yeah.
In simplest terms as possible. Like think like a political person. Like
Yeah,
my sister, I always use an example because she's like,
yeah.
doesn't know anything.
Yeah, so first, thanks for doing this with me.
Mhm.
This is fun. I am State Senator Mike Simmons. I use he, his pronouns. I represent
Great.
the far north side of Chicago, and I'm running for Congress in Illinois' 9th District. And the simplest reason why I'm running is because so many people are checked out of politics. They don't understand what's going on. There's a lot of noise, and people feel like people in Congress are wildly out of touch with regular people.
Yeah.
The way they talk, the priorities that they focus on, the zero communication or town hall or any kind of incorporation of local people or real
Yes.
people.
Yes.
And I feel that because I grew up not far from here in the 9th District where my family was cut off from politics. And, you know, so many people don't feel like their material needs have been addressed by people in power. And I'm running to give voice to people that feel that way, that feel like they have been forgotten or taken advantage of. You know, in the state senate, I've been really proud to open up government to regular people, and that takes real intentionality. You have to actually want to do that because it's a lot of work. And I think it would be really cool to have a member of Congress from this district who thought that way and actually have the receipts to make it happen. And that's in the plainest terms why I'm running is to connect regular people to the government and to show them that their voice can make a difference in our national government at a time when the Trump administration is trying to silence millions of people.
Yeah. It's weird because on one hand they're trying to silence people, on the other hand they're really good at tapping into what you're talking about, which is making people feel like that they are for them, which I think is kind of lost. Like you're saying, the Democratic Party, many people don't feel like our party is for them, and Trump did a really good job of talking to that. So it's interesting that you bring that up. I appreciate that.
And we got to win those folks back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people who
Can.
just are, you know.
They feel like a lost cause to me, but I
Some of them,
appreciate that.
yes.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think there are some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some of them are just like anti-establishment, which is helpful to have a platform running on engaging regular people who feel that anti-establishment pull, and then some I do think are just like,
Yeah.
and like love it.
And bucking the Democratic establishment
Yes,
is a big
yes.
part of my platform.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the state senate, I have passed 50 bills into law, but I have also bucked the establishment. I bucked the establishment when I won my Senate seat. I wasn't supposed to win. I was told to pound sand because I wasn't.
Is that true? I didn't know that. Oh, that's so interesting.
And in
Yeah.
Illinois, I keep
Yeah.
hearing the more we interview people, I keep hearing like how difficult it is
Yeah.
to
To
break
the-
break
Yeah.
into the Democratic Party here.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So how did you
How
do
did
that?
you do it?
Well, so in the state senate district I represent, a state senator before me had been reelected and then resigned 4 weeks later.
Oh, wow.
So there was a big appointment process, and there was an even bigger level of outreach at how the resignation had played out. And there was a sense that there was already a person cooked up for the role. And so I didn't like that. I said, well, I think I can represent
Yeah.
the people that are the people that shaped me in the communities I grew up in, the LGBTQ people, the moms, the seniors, the youth, the refugees, all the folks that make up my communities.
Yeah.
And the community was so outraged at that they put on all these big forums, and the Visible did forums, our IPOs did forums, and the process was really opened up for what was supposed to be an appointment to the state senate. And I think I kind of frustrated everybody's plans because I worked the process and talked about the work that needed to be done. It was during the George Floyd protests, so people were already like really plugged into what is happening in our country. And we pulled off a big upset. I became the first openly gay person to serve in the Illinois Senate in 2021 when I won, and the first Ethiopian American.
Wow.
Yeah.
This story is really interesting because I don't know if I'm sure you've thought about this, but there's like a parallel between Joe Biden when he stepped down and the like pushing in of Kamala Harris, and I think a lot of people felt like it was like a little bit of a, like no one got to go through the process of like the true like democratic process of getting to have a primary around, it wasn't really open. I think there's something kind of interesting about that because there's I think there's a myriad of reasons that election failed, but one of them I do think was partially that. Like some people were like, well, we didn't really get to have a.
Well, it speaks back to the overall theme of like disengagement, disillusionment with the machine, and like how it works and how it shuts out everyday people from the process.
So we needed someone to do an upset.
Yes.
It's kind of the point. Like I feel like that is maybe the takeaway from that experience with you.
Yeah. And that's kind of what's happening in this congressional race. I mean, I don't come from wealth. I don't have a bunch of rich donors that can float my campaign. I don't have media contacts and all these other kind of things that can help us to get our message out. But I think I've got a strong message that's anchored in the district, that's anchored in the community. And you know, I'm a young person, I'm a millennial, and I don't look like your typical member of Congress, but I've been able to be really effective in the state Senate. And stand down the establishment and also get things done, real things done, like reproductive rights legislation that we passed, or making Illinois a sanctuary state for trans families. That was legislation I authored and had to fight my own party to get a vote on it.
Like that's insane, come on.
Of course,
Can you speak to a little bit, like I know,
no, keep going, but just,
I know you talked about like why you're running it